Okay, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing like, I'm going to try and get the color as close to explaining it. A purpley, pinky, goldy white light forming like around Earth. It's around Earth. But it looks more like, I wanted to say it's like a grid, but it looks more like flower petals. Just give me a moment. There's something still inhibiting it. I'm going to use the term in the stalk. Along the stalk itself.
Okay, because the stalk would be the connection between the bud and origin.
Yes.
Is it inside the stalk or outside the stalk?
Outside the stalk. Look for like a little tiny bumps.
Okay. We see a lot of them, yes.
Look for those bumps on divine ones on Earth.
Okay.
I got not real, not physical, but use salt.
Okay, yes. Gotcha.
Not diluted. So in other words, don't use the equivalent. I'm going to use terms that are used here on Earth so that you can understand the picture of it, but then you can translate it. Don't use like salt water. Use actual granules.
So salt will take care of them instantly. I know what you mean by salt.
Yes, okay. Yes.
It's not actual salt.
It's not physical salt, but it's something like this, like salt.
It will have the same effect.
Just give me a moment. I'm looking at something else. And all the places where these were at, when they come off, when they pop off is going to be the word we'll use. That you need to put like a healing salve.
Yes.
On all of the divine ones and along the stalk itself.
Okay.
Because that places where the bumps were at.
These little holes.
It will divert divine energy so that the there is that which these ones they work very quietly, and this is what I am getting about this. Their way of working is very hidden, small, non-discernible, and they do things in such a way so as that it is like someone has, let's say for example you have a water hose and you want to water something. They have small indiscernible little holes along the water hose that just create along what looks like condensation. So no one takes notice of it because it just seems like it's just condensation or something that's not overly noticeable. But they have enough of them in enough strategic places that it inhibits the flow from being what it needs to be. This allows the place where the anti-divinity has taken root. The anti-divinity has a shield of kind around it, so that not enough divinity is moving through to dislodge the anti-divinity, and the anti-divinity is able to hold back enough so that from the outside perspective it would be like we are pouring in and we're doing everything we should be doing, but this is not happening. And it'd be easy to, from that perspective, to say that it is the fault of wherever they're pouring the divinity in. What are you guys doing that's preventing this from happening? What do you need to do to make this work? Because we're pouring in. We can see it. It's pouring in. They're very, very subtle. They do not have the loud, even though the Anunnaki were masters at hiding, when they did things, it had a very distinct pungentness to it. These are so subtle, you wouldn't even you can barely notice them. Only those with an extremely keen sense of scent, I'm going to call that, like what we call here like a bloodhound, would be able to pick up on the fine nuances of them. Okay, this is what I'm going to ask. Those that are particularly sensitive to, I'm going to use divine scent. Very, like the equivalent here to a trained bloodhound.
Yes.
Have them, with protection, become aware of the scent that these bumps have.
Okay.
And have them sort of go through just creation and sort of see if they can pick up on this anywhere, because it would be a very small and slight diverting. And if they react, they smell a little something, just a little something. Okay, hold on just a minute there. That was a weird thing. I got to turn, instead of shining light on it, I said cut out the light. And use... Okay, I have another thing to be checked out.
Okay.
These bumps, as they're being... Check and see. Cut out the light, so to speak. Use different, something like a black light.
Okay.
Because these things will show up in a black light. In the space in the... I'm going to call it the space. In that where they lived, they had their own... It did not exist in divine light. And it had its own way of existing. And those that exist in it can see the space that we thought was a void is not a void. It is, that which exists there is something different. And heavy protective gear. Go in and shine different kinds of black lights in there.
Oh my goodness!
Okay.
It's full of it!
Yeah. Take that light and shine around those spaces.
We are! It's full!
Okay.
We're pulling out of that space now.
Yes, pull out of that space as much as you can. Encase it. Find something that will encase it.
Yes.
Find something that will encase it. Okay, I have a way I would like everyone to pay, and I mean everyone that is working with the divine. Get one of these kinds of black lights. I'm going to call them. I'm calling them black lights because that's what they have that are here.
Yeah, we understand what you're talking about.
And everyone get one. Like disperse them out to everyone, so that everyone can have one available, so that as they're going through whatever they're doing, as a shot, that black light, even if it's dark, it shows up very strongly. But even in regular whatever,
yeah,
it will. You will see a reaction to it, and you can see what is there because it's like a hidden world.
Yes.
Also, look through the primordial sea.
Yes.
The salt works on them. It's like it shrink, not just doesn't just salt, it shrinks it up, shrivels it up. The salt is not contaminated by it. But look at earth very carefully, which is probably completely encased, because it's like it's existing in plain sight, but you can't see it. And so therefore you have an effect from it, but you can't see anything, so you look for something else that you think could be affecting it. Mm-hmm. That is going to be also a signal. If you have an effect and you find and it's not instantly divinely clear, but you have to try to figure it out, definitely shine the black light.
Yes.
And shine the black light also, and open the range up of the black light.
Yeah.
Because there's one place where we obviously see it, but there's going to be slight on either end of it. There's going to be some things that will show.
Use spectrum black light.
Yes. There's a spectrum black light, so that you get not just the quick obvious, but there may be some things off to the edge that only show up at certain frequencies in this black light.
But we're spreading that salt throughout everything.
It's not, like I said, not diluted. In the diluted, there is able to be a way to hide in the dilution and avoid the salt. That's what I got.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So, even after things have been cleaned up and cleared out, and everything's going good divinely, have the salt available, and every so often, if you do a little dunk,
yeah,
just sort of like, there should be strategically placed in areas. Maybe give a like dusting, as in adding the salt to your places of being, and have ones that go through creation. Just go through. Doesn't even have to be creation. Goes through, and also I'm going to spread to origin to check all the creations, not just ours. All the creations.
Yes.
Black lights and salt dunks. This will take care of it throughout
everything.
There are more of these shadowy ones outside of creation.
Okay, we'll deal with them.
This one that was in around Earth was a new one that had come in. It was not here previously. Just a moment, please. Okay. 16 new ones had come into creation. But we know what the black light, they will show up with the black light also. You can have individuals with theirs, but then have those who can catch them and deal with them. Lots of salt shakers or salt guns or whatever you want to call it. The origin needs to be checking like all the creations, all the primordial sea. They don't exist very close to origin. They live a little space. It's like, because Origin's light is such who he is that they could be noticed with his close proximity. But in the primordial sea, I don't know where they come from. I'm not going. I'm not dealing with that. That Origin can deal with something like that. So that is what is going on. Let me see if I can explain this. There is a concept here that exists that within a certain space, you can have different things in different dimensions, and all living in this, overlapping in the same space, and the ones would not necessarily be aware of the other. These dark schooly ones have been doing just that. They have been living like just off from everything else. They have created their own. It's not even universe. It's its own, because it's colossal. They've created a large area, but they're so subtle, and when they do interact with I'm just going to talk about creation, even though it's outside creation in the primordial sea. I'm just going to talk about creation because beyond that, trying to find the words become impossible. They exist in this layer where they can see and interact with creation as they see fit and manipulate it and influence it, but in a subtle way that doesn't alert anyone to that's what's going on. And they have a complete creation that they live in. It's not an empty space. What it was created of, how it was created, I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going down that path. But this is what it needs to be done to handle that, so as to, we will see where they're working the strongest, where they have infiltrated into our area and superimposed. They have existed in such a way in which their existence was, no one knew of their existence. Even the whispering ones didn't know their existence.
Oh my.
No one knew of their existence. They were so subtle in what they were doing, how they influenced things. No one knew of their existence. So to be known and to be seen and to be made aware of. Even when we found those original ones that were here, and even when we found the void space, what I called void, but it was not really truly void, they thought that it was, that they had still managed to escape detection. Origin is now aware.
Yes.
And everyone else is now aware. And all the creators are aware. And all that live in the primordial sea are aware.
And they all have the salt packs.
And they all have salt packs
and black lights.
And black lights. And they're supporting each other. And they know that it's there. So they're shining it into every space, looking for everywhere. And they're look for void spots. Because now that we've found the one void spot, we can be able to figure out and determine how to find other void spots. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Because sometimes when she is talking like this, she's just saying words, and afterwards she's like, well, that didn't make any sense. Because a lot of what I'm communicating to you is done in
my thought
and divine seeing and divine understanding.
Yeah.
And it's not done verbally. There's a verbal component. Okay, hold on, Dean. What's something else? A positive thing. It's like I'm getting... There is a sense of a white green light. A white green. Okay. I'm going to say this. This is going to sound weird from here on Earth. They think of green as a mixture of yellow and blue. I'm not talking about a mixture of yellow and blue. I'm talking about divine white green light, which is this unique and complete unto itself. I'm going to say the white green because it's something that's outside the physical comprehension. But you will understand what I'm speaking about. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're speaking about.
The white green light, after everything is cleaned up and cleared out, throughout all creations and throughout the primordial sea and throughout everything, there needs to be a background white green light.
Okay.
That exists. Like from here on Earth, we would call it like sunlight, that it sort of permeates in different levels. Because there's something about the white green light that inhibits anything of this shadow ones from forming. It's like it inhibits it. Because when they existed and the way that they existed, it was from our perspective as a dark void. The white-green light, like sunlight, inhibits mold. It will inhibit it from being able to form. So when you go into these, everywhere, all the voids everywhere, this white-green light needs to come and be. And then that will we can still use the black lights.
Mm-hmm.
We can still use the salting, and we still do that. But this will be a more,
later step.
This will be a more permanent moving forward step.
Yeah.
That will prevent it from coming back. I am seeing what hasn't been seen. I'm going where it hasn't been gone. I'm bringing down with this, and not only am I bringing it down, but by the white green light being a permanent thing everywhere, it is
stopping them from coming back.
Yes, it will prevent them from finding a way of coming back, because they exist where you cannot see or know. Then hiding and coming back is just, of course. Just please, one moment. Sorry, just one moment, please. I'm getting very, very. I'm feeling very cloudy, foggy.
Okay.
But not. It's like the debris from them. I'm sorry, but just give me a few more minutes. There needs to be a hum. Okay, we need to have a hum to go through everything. That settles things down.
Okay.
That makes everything settle down. They were sending up like. Okay, in response to what we were doing and what we were seeing, they were sending up like a debris cloud to mask them so we couldn't see them. There needs to be brought out a hum which settles it all down quickly. And the hum will settle down, then you'll be able to see again, because they were hiding it. They're really good at masking themselves. I will ask that Origin sent out like the equivalent of salt laser blasts to circle homes. Don't ask me what that means.
We understand.
That's where the clouds were coming up from. This was unexpected and far. Just give me a second. I'm okay. Just a second. Just a second, please. They are attempting to cloud me and overwhelm me. Go around the periphery of all that is near that you can find and and gather them up quickly.
We are aware.
I'm sorry, just a moment, I'm sorry. I am seeing that there is a sound oscillation, very low and deep, that is moving through the primordial sea, through each and every creation, that is finding, dismantling. It is beginning to, I will use the term, melt, but like a sandcastle melts. And when they are gone, it'll be like the sandcastle on the beach. It will just be gone and melted. It's like it never existed. I'm seeing and I'm asking rainbow lights. But think of like the Rainbow Bridge in the movie, but softer and smoother and thicker. That be wrapping around through and around Earth, the universe of the souls. It'd be wrapping around it. I am a little bit wobbly. It is much, much smoother now. This is doing very, very well, correct?
Oh, yes.
This is going through very smoothly now.
And quickly.
And quickly.